Alright, so welcome to Classroom Talks from Mumbai here. This is Dr. Gaurang here, and I'm going to talk to you about some very interesting kind of clinical observations that I'm going to share with you. And many of these ideas that I'm sharing from you are based from repertory, based from materia medica. And one of the commonest asked question is, what do we do when patient is not talking? How to observe? So one of the commonest thing I want to talk to you today about is what to do when a patient sits in front of you. How to observe this? In case of a child, in case of an adult, in case of a male, in case of a woman, what all to see? So I'm going to give you some kind of thoughts, ideas, and share with you how actually patient behaves. So the number one thing, typical patient will come to you, and the first thing he will do is like this. Okay. So this is typical restless feet. So you should here think about medorinum, zincum, rustox, phosphorus, so many more medicines, but mainly this. But typically medorinum and zincum, lot of restless feet. One patient you might see typically a lot of restless hands. This would be very common for carry group. Also tarantula in a child. One patient will be constantly playing with the buttons like this. Okay, this may be moscus. One patient you might see and you ask him or her a question that, what is the main stress for you and how do you kind of react in different situations, and he will just for a long time he would be like this. So what is the rubric for this? And you can open Kent for this. You can see the rubric here. Sits wrapped in deep, sad thoughts. You will see one very interesting remedy there. Hippomens. I treated one case like that of a depression, who should sit like this for a long time after a disappointment in love, who did very well on Hippomens. Many more remedies you will see. Aurum, you will see Populus, many more remedies. But this is a very interesting rule. Another very interesting kind of phenomena you might see. One patient you might be very stiff, sitting very stiff. So there is a rubric like that, sit stiff. In Kent there is the biggest remedy, belladonna, hyoscyamus, chamomilla. Another patient may come to you and you are asking him questions, but the way of sitting at the edge of the seat, very nervous. So these are very nervous remedies. Edge of the seat. Here you will also see remedies like Umbra grisea, Gelsemium, Argentum nitricum, and so on. Another patient you might just see, and just his body language, he will just come and sit like this. हाँ डॉक्टर बताओ क्या पूछना है? बताओ. So it's just way of sitting, he will sit like this as if he is the king. So this is more like a very, you can say, a very dictatorial kind of state. Insolence, another rubric, Kent repertory. Insolence, no respect for anyone. You will see remedies also like lycopodium, platina, sometimes mercury also here. So this all is given in Kent repertory. You might be thinking, where am I saying all this from? So the best repertory to study this is Kent. In Kent, there is a rubric like that. and you can go into a kind of a section in the mind section, sit, and in that there are rubrics. Sit inclination 2, sit quite stiff, sit still. One of my favorite rubric is this. Patient may come and just do like this. So elbow on knees and hands on head. So here you can see the very beautiful rubric. Sit with head on hands, elbow on knees. Elbow on knees. And you can see here glunoid and iodine. These are the two remedies in Kent. So just just by the way a person sits, you can actually know so much about who he is or who she is. In fact, I remember one case I was doing, a girl, young girl, maybe I think at that moment she must be 12-year-old. And in the entire case, and her mother was giving the history, entire case she was doing like this. She was just, constantly playing with her hair. For about an hour and a half, like this. She was just doing like this. Like this, like this, like this, like this, like this, like this. So there is a rubric like this. What is rubric? Plays with hair, stroking. The remedy there is Theridion. Another remedy is chocolate. Just check if chocolate is there or not. And this is the remedy I gave her, Theridion. The typical spider quality. So it's just, I'm telling just by the way a person sits, you will know so much about who he is just by body language. So body language is not only, typically you have to read books on it, but this is homeopathic understanding of body language, which is a correlation of materia medica, repertory, organon, and real clinical understanding with patients. I hope this was useful, and a lot of these ideas we are sharing in our course, classical homeopathy course. So many hundreds of students across the globe have joined us, and we would really want, if you really want to study and self-study with us, you can join us anytime. My email ID, everything is given below. Join us. Thank you.